14 attraction signs men always miss. Attraction is a complex interplay of biological, psychological, and social factors. While many men think they can easily spot when a woman is interested, the truth is that women often send out subtle, unconscious signals that can easily go unnoticed. In this video, we'll explore 14 common yet overlooked signs that a woman may be attracted to you. 14. The accidental touch. Those seemingly innocent brushes or touches may not be so accidental after all. When a woman creates opportunities for incidental physical contact, she's subconsciously gauging your chemistry. Psychologists assert there's no such thing as a truly accidental touch when attraction is involved. By briefly making that tactile connection, even momentarily, she's testing the waters between you. Whether lightly grazing your arm, brushing against you, or creating another reason for bodily contact, she's looking for a spark. This breaks the physical barrier in a plausibly deniable way to read your reaction. 13. Facial expressions of desire. While verbal flirtation is more overt, a woman's facial expressions can convey her desire through far subtler cues. Slightly parted lips mimic a look of pleasure, while batted eyelashes and a tilted head downward convey a sense of feminine vulnerability. These fleeting micro-expressions may last only seconds, but they hint at her deeper feelings of attraction in that moment. Subconsciously, such looks are rooted in human courtship cues that appeal to a primal sense of interest in men. Batted eyelashes in particular suggest a submissive desire, while parted lips mimic the look of sexual pleasure. Though brief, these split-second gestures reveal what's underneath the surface if you're aware of them. 12. The knee caress. Notice if she slowly strokes or caresses her own knees while talking to you. This seemingly innocent self-touching actually hints at deeper sexual tension brewing beneath the surface. Psychologically, the knee caress suggests an unconscious desire to caress your body. When directly touching you would be too forward, she substitutes with soft motions on herself as rehearsal. The positioning of her knees is also telling. If pointed inwards towards you, it conveys undivided attention and emotional investment in connecting. 11. Open body language. While crossed arms or a rigid posture signals discomfort, an open and relaxed stance conveys openness on multiple levels. It demonstrates she feels at ease and psychologically receptive around you. Does she have an exposed positioning when together, arms resting on the table, legs uncrossed, ankles angled towards you? This accessibility conveys a subconscious comfort and sense of emotional safety in your presence. On a primal level, an open posture signals you pose no threat. Her personal space and defensive barriers relax, allowing herself to be vulnerable with you. This hints at the potential for deeper intimacy. 10. The basic instinct move. Remember that infamous scene from Basic Instinct where Sharon Stone slowly crossed and uncrossed her legs? This subtle move didn't go unnoticed by Michael Douglas' character. When a woman purposefully crosses and uncrosses her legs, especially if she's wearing something revealing like shorts or a skirt, she's subconsciously trying to draw your attention below the belt. By exposing a glimpse of her thighs, she's putting her feminine assets on display. It's her subconscious way of leveraging body cues to increase her sexual allure and pique your interest. 9. The eyelash flutter. There's a reason fluttering eyelashes are seen as coy and flirtatious, because that's exactly what they are. A rapid batting of the eyelashes is actually a scientific indication of psychological and sexual arousal. Research shows that when a woman experiences heightened arousal on physical or emotional levels, it triggers an involuntary increase in blinking or eyelash fluttering. While she may not even realize she's doing this telling gesture, it's rooted in evolutionary biology. The blinking and fluttering creates a sense of vulnerability and submissiveness that subconsciously attracts male interest. 8. The hip sway. If you notice a woman exaggeratedly swaying or gyrating her hips while walking or sitting, it's not just her channeling her inner music video vixen. This provocative hip motion is actually a subconscious feminine courting ritual. From an evolutionary perspective, the elaborate hip sway accentuates a woman's curves and fertility. It's her body's way of exaggerating the genetic markers that made her an optimal mate to our prehistoric ancestors. On a primal level, the swaying hip motion mimics the movements of sex itself. It draws the eye precisely where she wants your attention, on her reproductive assets as a fertile, healthy mate. 7. The chest display. Just as peacocks puff out their plumage to attract mates, Women have their own version of this evolutionary courtship behavior, the subtle chest push. If you notice her pushing her shoulders back to accentuate her bust line, or leaning forward for enhanced cleavage exposure, she's putting her assets on display for your benefit. It's an instinctive way to demonstrate reproductive fitness and fertility. While comparisons to mating rituals in nature may seem crude, the underlying biology driving this courtship behavior is hardwired into our DNA from ancient times. 6. The hair flip. There's a reason hair product commercials look so alluring. The hair flip is a powerful feminine gesture loaded with subconscious signals. When a woman tosses her hair back or runs her fingers through it, exposing the nape of her neck, she's drawing your attention to areas that release pheromones and biological arousal cues. On an instinctive level, this motion highlights shiny, healthy hair, an indicator of fertility and youth. The hair flip accentuates the gentle curves of her neck and shoulders, essentially framing and presenting her face. But there's also a powerful psychological element at play. By making this motion, she's momentarily increasing her vulnerability by exposing the back of her neck. This fleeting submissive gesture can subconsciously trigger feelings of attraction and protectiveness in men. 5. The submissive look. While an overtly demure, doe-eyed look may seem off-putting in our modern times, subtle submissive cues can still fan the flames of attraction on a primal level. Researchers have found that women with higher, thinner eyebrows and larger eyes create a slightly wider-eyed, vulnerable expression. This delicate, soft facial appearance subconsciously suggests a need for care and protection. Similarly, exposing the wrists, softening the gaze, or avoiding prolonged direct eye contact can convey a submissive vibe that appeals to an innate male desire to safeguard and provide. 4. The Marilyn Monroe gaze. While she may not possess Marilyn Monroe's legendary blonde bombshell looks, a woman deploying the same iconic sultry gaze is essentially issuing an unspoken invitation. The Marilyn look features heavy-lidded, slightly squinted bedroom eyes, full lips gently parted, and eyebrows raised in a subtly coy expression. It's a masterclass in communicating sensuality through micro-expressions. This facial expression doesn't just convey abstract desire, it actually mimics the look of orgasmic pleasure itself. On a subconscious level, it triggers primal arousal and attraction pathways in the male brain. Even a fleeting attempt to recreate this iconic look, whether intentional or not, hints that her mind has drifted towards more intimate thoughts about you in that moment. 3. Primping and preening. While some brushing off lint could merely be an attempt at appearing polished, excessive primping or preening often serves a deeper purpose, grabbing your attention. When a woman plays with her hair, reapplies lip balm, fiddles with her clothes, or checks her makeup repeatedly in your presence, it's a subconscious desire to draw your gaze. These actions mimic self-grooming behaviors humans initially used as mating displays. By making slight adjustments to accentuate her appearance, she's putting her assets on display with you as the intended audience. Her preening motions draw focus to areas like her lips, curves, and flowing movements. 2. Object caressing. Notice if she starts slowly and sensually caressing nearby objects, running her fingers along a wine glass, dragging a fingertip across a table, or tracing the rim of her coffee cup. This seemingly innocuous behavior is actually rooted in subconscious desire. When unable to physically caress you in that moment, she substitutes by redirecting that tactile urge onto inanimate objects within reach. Psychologists refer to this as object transference, where we displace profound needs like intimacy onto substitutes when the real target is inaccessible. In this case, she's displacing a desire to caress your body through caressing everyday objects. 1. Lip licking. This final telltale sign of attraction is incredibly subtle, yet powerfully laden with subconscious erotic meaning. The lip lick. When a woman slowly runs her tongue across her lips to moisten them, it instantly draws your eye to that deliciously inviting, plump area. But it's about far more than just dry lips. The mouth and lips essentially represent erogenous, fertilizable areas in a symbolic, biological sense. By drawing focus there through leisurely lip licking, she's subconsciously signaling her availability, arousal, and desire for you as a potential mate. The oral fixation becomes magnified if she bites or sucks on her lips as well. These gestures mimic foreplay and arousal cues tied to our primal brains. Though she may not even realize the provocative undertones she's conveying, you'll be hyper-aware that her body is putting out very enticing signals in that moment. Evolutionary biology has a way of seeping into our behavior. For more mind-blowing insights into the subtle signs of female attraction, be sure to check out our next insightful video.